Hello, my name is Webweaver, and welcome to the Monday early evening member shoutouts. Before we jump into the video, we're going to talk about what the channel did over the last week. Yesterday, we did a stream covering the public beta update for World of Horror. Go check it out if you've missed it. We played as Columbo.
What are these fish called again?
Koi.
Over the weekend, we did 2 episodes of RimWorld, where Lunlana's many enemies and the Moyo introduced themselves to our colony. Darcy just beat somebody to death. Darcy, we're gonna need you to get up there. On Friday, Plunger and Josephine cooked up some devious edits on both the Dark Souls series, where I have to go kill Chaos. Should we just go kill the Bed of Chaos? Should we just go kill the Bed of Chaos, chat? Edited by Plunger. And in the Lunacid series, where I locked horses in a room. Come back. Alright. For 5 minutes, definitely not longer than that. I don't have an obsession or a problem, and it's not a phase. Thank you. Now, let's get into the Monday morning member shoutouts. For the 3 cans tier, thank you so much, Domina Violetta. I really appreciate the continued support. For the 1 can tier, thank you, Badman LOL 21, Mothulu, Ezander space _ 581, Bunny-chan Farabi, and Horg Japan. Really appreciate all the support. Now we can get into the video. Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of It's Look Who It Is. So we are on the grind set of 1.02 beta. Now, if you missed it, we did a stream yesterday, and it was going over essentially the idea of, did anything change? And the answer is basically no. This is a beta update. In order to get it, you have to opt into the public beta on Steam. And the only thing that it gives you is Steam integration and workshop support. So, we played Columbo, we played Hayano, and we played Yomu. I don't think we're gonna play Hayano again. We could, I guess. You know what? Sure, why not? Steam integration is still new. We might as well. Now, one thing that I did notice is that Yomu apparently has events tied to her, but we never saw any of those events. So I don't know if the events work or not, or if it's a problem with the mod, or if it's a problem with Steam integration, or if it's a problem with the game. I don't know. Probably the bug report section is for that. But the balance change hasn't happened yet, and the new mystery hasn't happened yet. So Hayano, I believe, was also uploaded by Panstash as well. So this is like an official mod. And with that being said, I think we're gonna go. And we're playing Hayano, so I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible for myself. I do hate to do that, but it's like, Hayano is very, very hard to play. Now, she does start with a cursed doll, so that is, in theory, at least something. Now, the thing that I'm worried about particularly is I probably want to get a small candle or a ritual dagger, but I also kind of want a compass, so we're gonna try something which is probably going to backfire and fail, because I don't think we're going to have enough money to actually pull this off, but I think we're gonna try it anyways, because I want to get a compass. I think that would be ideal. Now, what am I going to buy as a weapon? That's a little hard. That's a little difficult here. Now, we also have painting, so we could try to get a chainsaw instead, which might be better. I think that is actually going to be better. So what we can do... I don't want to do mermaids, because then we're going straight into painting. We don't have a bandage. Although we could maybe get a bandage by preparing, but I don't think that's worth it. I think we want to do Fear Festival of Household Hell. We'll do... Or, sorry, not Fear Festival, it's found footage. We'll do Freaky Feature of found footage. And we want to get... We actually are missing the handcuffs. So we actually are down on one item that we're able to sell, which is a little bit bad. Just a little bit bad. Panic is awful. Innsmouth look is fine. HDF is exactly what we wanted. Now, how do we get more money? I would like to keep the cursed doll, but actually we can just prepare. That's fine. Wooden bat, by the way. And we can just sell something. We can actually sell the wooden bat. That's fine. So 22% Doom. It feels pretty bad. Oh god, we don't have the police station. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm completely throwing. It's over. It's Jover. There's no way we win this. The police station is just so strong. Yeah, we can just get some EXP here. Is the forest doomed? The forest is safe, actually. The forest being safe gives us a genuine chance. The village is doomed, but that's fine. We don't really care about that. The village can be doomed all they like. I would like to... I don't think we win this, by the way. I don't think we have to do a 60-70 twice, and we take -2 to all. That's horrible. But I don't really think 5% Doom is doable, but, like, we're gonna take way more damage fighting this thing, so we would just rather run away and then go to the monument. I think that's fine. It's not gonna be too fun, so we can go back. Now, this is a doomed village investigation, but that's fine. We only have to go to the village once, basically. I can't think of... We don't have bulletin board, so I'm not really worried about it. I think we're gonna be alright. I think we're gonna be fine. So, what we can do is probably just take the injury, right? Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. We actually have Expel Evil, which is a good spell that I should have cast before our jaw broke, but we can cast it later. That's alright. Now, you're looking at this guy, and you're thinking to yourself, we're absolutely not fighting this, because we're not fighting second enemy, Dream Salesman, by the way. We're not fighting anything until we get the chainsaw. I think that's completely understandable, and I think that's our win con, and it's just how many... It's just how many, like, enemy fights we get into before that. So hopefully, none. Hopefully it's just the 2, because we got time skipped, we had to run away twice. It's not looking too great. But, you know, the thing is, like, if you remember the Hayano arcs of yesteryear, back when she was in the game files and you had to go grab her and put her in the game folder or whatever, and she was, like, the tutorial on how to mod the game, you'll know my feelings about Hayano, which is, I really conceptually like her as a character, and she has perks which are really good for new players. Now, the problem is I think she's getting legacied. Like, I think she's getting legacy power scaled, because what we saw from the new characters is you can have characters start with perks, and you can have characters start with items, right? Like, she starts with a cursed doll now. I think she should absolutely... Like, she starts with occult signs as her starting perk. I think she should start with that one thing that is, Premonition, event options. I think she should start with Premonition. Event options display which stat will be tested against when selected. I think she should absolutely have this by default. And, like, the thing is, if she had this by default, she would, and her stats were, like, increased by, like, 1 across the board, and maybe her knowledge, maybe, like, increase all of her stats by 1 across the board, and then give her, like, 1 more point into, like, strength, or, so, like, give her, like, 2 points into strength, or, like, 2 points into knowledge or something, she becomes a better character. The problem is that she has a good kit, like, a good perks for beginners, but her, like, overall stats and the fact that she doesn't have a consistent source of attack speed makes her really, really, really bad. And the thing is, she also doesn't really have anything, like, unique going on for her outside of, like, okay, hear me out. If I talked about this on the live stream too, so this is kind of going over some stuff, but if you have a character who, in order to unlock them, you have to go through the game files to, like, you know, figure them out, and you have to go into the game files, find them, put them in the correct folder, and they're like the modding tutorial, they should be a hyper niche character. They should be a hyper niche character that does something crazy, right? They should be like an Easter egg character that does something silly, because only people who are obsessed with your game are going to do that. Because something that, you know, that's shocking. If you've ever looked into statistics on how people play games, you will be shocked and appalled if you, like, really love that game, right? Like, the thing that I always think about is for Mass Effect, right? I can't remember who did it, but it was like somebody on the Mass Effect team, because they used, like, if you were playing online, they gave you that, like, they kind of recorded what choices you made as sort of like this is what our players are doing, you know, so that they can analyze, like, this and that. They revealed the amount of people who did Paragon and who did Renegade, right? Like, they revealed the amount of people who did Paragon playthroughs, and they revealed the amount of people who did Renegade playthroughs. It was drastic. Like, 96% of people who played Mass Effect played Paragon, right? And so when you think about something like that, it really, like, people interface with your game in a very specific way, and most people will interface with your game that way. There's nothing that you can really do about that. That's just, people will play your game in a very specific way, and then that's it, right? And so people who are really, really, really into the game, you know, they'll do everything. But, like, a vast majority of people are going to go from point A to point B, and then that's their ending point, and then they're done. They're, like... And so, if somebody likes World of Horror enough to where they hear about, oh, there's a character who is a modding example created by the developer, and she's in the game files, or she's on Steam Workshop, or whatever you want to do with it, and in order to unlock her, you have to go into the game files, or you have to go on Steam Workshop, and then you have to, like, do something external to the game to get her in your game, and she's, like, official content from the developer. She should be weird, right? She should have some weird gimmick. She should be niche. She should be... Because, like, if you play a game like World of Horror casually, right? You're probably not going to go achievement hunting. You're probably just going to pick a character that you have fun playing, and then that's going to be that. Like, you're going to pick the character that you enjoy, and then you're going to play a run as that character, and then it's going to be over. Most people who play World of Horror are not going to 100% the game, even though 100%ing the game is the progression route through the game. You have to understand that people are going to... They're going to pick Ico, and then they're going to play Ico, and then they're going to do a run, and then they're going to maybe play a few more runs to see all the mysteries, if you're lucky. And then they might come back to the game on Halloween or October because they want to play spooky games in their library, you know? Something like that. That's how most people are going to interface with World of Horror. I would assume. I don't have analytics. But it's just like, if you look at how people interface with other games, it kind of just like makes sense. I'd be really... no, actually, Steam charts. I remember looking at the Steam charts for World of Horror in October. It got a boost of players, right? So I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. But at least I think I'm not insane. I vaguely remember something like that. And I remember people were streaming World of Horror on Halloween as well. I remember that as well. I do this thing where I, like, remember something and then I gaslight myself into believing that it never existed because I'm a weirdo. But essentially what I'm trying to say... I think it's Violent Vigil time, yeah? I think it's Violent Vigil time. We do have Broken Jaw. We need to get that taken care of eventually, but we can kind of deal with it like this. So... I think that it's very strange that Hayano is a character who, if her stats weren't dog, she would, in theory, be really, really good for a new player. Yeah, sure, why not? In theory, she would be a really good character for a new player. Like, if she had attack speed and premonition by default, she would be a great, amazing player, or an amazing character for a new player. And she doesn't really offer anything, like, fundamentally unique or interesting. Like, she doesn't really have a gimmick outside of being thematically interesting. Because back when she was created, custom characters were more limited than they are now. So I think that it's pretty cool that she shows off that you can give your character an item, you can give your character a perk. That's way cooler than she used to be. That's definitely a buff. But I do think, from a perspective of, like, the people who are going to play as Hayano, like, when I did that poll of, like, who like, the most popular World of Horror character, and I included Hayano, because she was created by the developer, so as far as I'm concerned, she was created by the developer. Back then, she was in the game folder. I am going to take that as she is official content. She was officially made by the developer. She was included in the game files. And she was accessible through the game. Well, through the game files. But, like, you didn't have to do anything external to get her. I included her as official content. There were people who didn't even know who Hayano was. Right? She was the least popular character, and people didn't know that she existed. So, to me, anyways, I think that's important. I view that as an important thing, because it means that even though I know about Hayano, and if you are a World of Horror degenerate, you also know about Hayano. If you have brain worms, if the worms are back, if the worms are back, the worms are back. If that's you for Shiikawa and Wa, then you obviously know who Hayano is, but a vast majority of people who play are never going to know who Hayano is. And so having her be an example character for what modded characters can do, that's good, because a vast majority of people who are going to discover her were modders, right? But also, if a non-modding player, like a player who is not making mods for your game, if they are going to discover Hayano, they are going to do so because they are obsessed with your game. And it would have been neat if Hayano had some, like, crazy, like, if she was a wild example of what mods could do. Like, for the Yomu mod or the Columbo mod, right? Like, Columbo starts with, like, 10 knowledge. You know, that's crazy. That's insane. And his other stats are, like, really, really bad, right? Oh, I did it wrong. We're gonna get Doom. I pressed the wrong button. Ancestral Strength's really good, though. I'm not gonna complain about that. I mean, we can just get the Vigil Pamphlet out of here. We're already fighting them. So I might as well get something useful in my inventory. So I don't think that, like... I want to make this clear. I don't think Hayano is bad content. Like, obviously a lot of effort was put into her. I just think that it's a shame, the type of effort that was put into her. Because she plays more like something you'd want a new player to experience, versus somebody who, like, is bawling and wants to play World of Horror, you know what I mean? I don't really like any of this shit, honestly. Do we already have quick... We already have quick thinking. So it's like... This shit just kind of sucks, honestly. I kind of want to take predestined, but we'll take... Am I going to level up knowledge 2 more times? I don't think so. I don't think so at all, which is why she should have +1 to all of her stats easily, and then, like, maybe +2 to strength or knowledge, or both. But, like, it would be really cool if she had some, like, crazy combination of perks that you had to be insane to make work properly. And then, actually, I know it's not gonna work, but I want to try it anyways, right? You never know. Yeah. I wonder if you clicked it really fast. Like, you just kind of, like, double-clicked it immediately. Like, you frame-perfect clicked it if you could get both. But, like, if she had, like... So her good stats are, like... Her good stat is perception and charisma, right? What if she had the exact same stats that she has now, but her perception was just, like, 10 or something insane like that? So, like, with 1 level, you could get it to 12. That'd be pretty cool. Like, right? Like, a lot, like, you don't have to, like, with Hayano, right? You don't have to make her with the balance of the game in mind. Because, realistically speaking, nobody's ever gonna know what Hayano is or what she does. And if that sucks, that's just kind of... That's just kind of how it is, you know? That's just kind of how, like, you put her as secret content in your game. Like, I would love to know, because I don't think the game has Steam achievements, right? I would love to know the percentage of people who 100% of the game. I don't think it'll be very high. I don't think it'll be very high at all. Which sucks, because World of Horror is a game where its progression system is based around you 100%ing it. Like, if you do not 100% World of Horror, you are not getting the most out of the game, right? Like, the game is designed for you to 100% complete it. It's not... The only thing that's, like, really annoying to do is, like, the blue gem riddle and the 3 books. And, like, the 2 light sources... But, like, everything else is, like, doable, you know? Like, everything... Okay, no, the cursed blood with the key, that's kind of annoying as well, right? But everything in this game is, like, relatively doable with, like, how it wants to function as a game, right? And so it's very odd to me for World of Horror that, like, a lot of people don't, like, I think it needs to be pushed more, right? Like, if I do another, like, if I do a things that you should know before playing World of Horror video, which maybe I should push people to 100% complete the game, because, like, the game is fundamentally designed for you to 100% it, right? Like, absolutely. Sure, let's do it like that. Just in case we missed, you know? Just in case we missed. Because it really does suck. Like, it is a game. Like, I'll shout this to the rooftops every single day, brother. I'll shout this to the rooftops every single day, sister. World of Horror is designed for you to 100% it. There are only a couple of achievements that are annoying and a pain in the ass, and then everything else is, like, understandable and how you want it, like, how it's supposed to be done. And I just think that I think it's a shame, honestly. Because it's a great game, but it does something, because, okay, 100%ing a game normally is a pain in the ass, okay? Like, I've watched enough episodes of The Completionist to know that, right? And I'm vaguely recalling that The Completionist has, like, bad mojo these days. So, you know, I remember... Listen, I haven't watched The Completionist in a while, but I do remember there was some completionist drama happening. That's completely irrelevant to what I'm talking about, though, so it will be subsequently ignored. I have no dog in whatever race was going on there. I got no horse there. What, I have no dog in this race? It's a horse race, not a dog race. Anyways. My crumbling sanity aside, getting dogs and horses confused. I don't know, you ever seen a borzoi? I've watched enough episodes of The Completionist to know that 100%ing a game, and I've also played enough video games to know that getting a 100% on a video game kind of sucks. Like, a lot of the time, it just kind of sucks, right? Like, when you're playing a game, it is usually... I don't think this is a controversial statement, although completionists might get a little mad at me. I believe that most games are not designed for you to 100% complete. I believe that most games are designed for the average player, and I think that this is what makes sense. I think that most games are designed for the average player who wants to pick up the game, play it for 8 hours, and then never touch it again, right? And because here's the thing, like, what was it? Like, the average person has less than an hour, or like an hour and 30 minutes that they can play a video game every day, right? Like, if you have an hour and 30 minutes, and I think that was like on the higher end, I think it really was like less than an hour per day for a game. If you have less than an hour per day for a game, your ass is not 100% completing that unless you really, really, really like that game. Which, I mean, hey, if you like it, all the more power to you. Absolutely. We're gonna do something like this. Yeah. But, like, you probably just want to play the game from beginning to end, and then that is, or at least whatever ending you get first, and then that's just sort of how you're going to interface with the game. And World of Horror, if you read the lore and the story that's going on, runs can take about an hour and 30 minutes, an hour, depending on how fast you read, and you could lose that run, right? Because for the World of Horror that I play, if we die, it's probably like 15 minutes into the video, right? Or if we win, it's probably like 20 minutes into the video if I'm going quick. Or if we're going slow, like 30 minutes into the video, you know? Which is what we're doing today. But I think I think an important aspect of game design is meeting people where they're at. And something that... Okay, thank God I didn't throw the kendo helmet. Sell that shit immediately. Thank you. I think an important part about game design is meeting people where they're at and knowing that a vast majority of players are going to do, like, A to B. And for World of Horror, you can't really do that. And it works kind of like... not real... Like, in order to get the most out of World of Horror, you have to 100% the game. But I don't think that a lot of people are going to actively go out of their way to try and 100% the game. So it just kind of ends up in this weird spot where it's like, yeah, you know, God, this guy sucks so much. I mean, this just works, right? Yes, it just works. I don't know. I think that WoW is a good game. This is, World of Horror is a good game. Controversial statement, I know. Many people will disagree with me. You're all spamming the yick gif right now. Me playing World of Horror, it's a bad game. I think that it is small indie company. Small indie company, small indie company, small indie company. I think that a lot of people... God, quick thinking paid for itself. But quick thinking paid goddamn dividends. That was +4 sanity back to back. That shit's crazy. I do think that World of Horror is a game, and that is a true statement that everybody can agree with. You can't yick gif spam me out of that one. But more seriously, I think World of Horror is a very strange game that I don't quite know how to describe, because I think it's just weird. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's a good game. I think it's a very, like, it's not a normal game, right? Like, I don't think I'm ever going to see a game like World of Horror again, because it doesn't really capture the gameplay of anything that you think it would, right? It is so, like, you can clearly tell that it is, I mean, I made the raft analogy that got memed a lot back in the day. Like the video game The Raft with the shark, and you're like, you have the little square at the start and you build it out and it becomes this massive thing. Like, you can tell that multiple different styles of World of Horror and multiple different mechanics have been kind of layered on top of each other to create this really weird amalgamation. That it works, and I like it, but I don't think that... I mean, first of all, you're never gonna see a game like this come out from like a AAA studio or like a AA studio or like a, I don't want to say like a big indie team, but like an established indie team, because this game is all over the place and it works, but it's very like, it's very shotgun, you know? And I don't mean that as an insult, because it makes World of Horror very unique and interesting. And obviously, there's something about this game that I think is... that I think that's fascinating. I don't know why the words temporarily failed me there, but, like... You can't really... Oh, God. Do we just... I think I would rather just shoot the Cursed Doll, because it's guaranteed damage, and we can just get it over with here with the strong attacks. I think that's, like, World of Horror has a lot of unique elements going on for it, in the sense that it's just a very strange game, and it's fascinating. And it's interesting, right? Like, it is. And I think that is genuinely a feat of... I'm not going to say a feat of design, because it's more like a feat of making it work, right? Like, you have this vision for what you want to do. Oh, that was the wrong button. Whoops. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit of that as, like, a little treat. You have this vision of what you want to do, and you make it work. And seeing, like, the older versions of World of Horror, playing the older versions of World of Horror, I had 90% chance Andy. A single 90% chance Andy, thank God. Like, seeing the old versions of the game, seeing how it all used to work, and how it all works now, I think it's genuinely really interesting. I genuinely do. I think it's genuinely fascinating. I think it's an enjoyable experience. I think it's an enjoyable game. You can't sell the energy drink, can you? Okay, so let's put these two things away. We can sell the Stalker's Mask, the Cursed Doll, and the Sewing Kit. So let's see what the Monument wants. 4 stamina is kind of rough. We remember Dream Salesman Andy as the guy, so I think we can just go through, right? Because we're kind of eating... I honestly, that might have been a bad idea. Because... Yo, Innsmouth look pog? No burn? That's pretty good in case we have a Takashi fight. I'm a little bit worried here because we could potentially... I haven't checked the lighthouse. We could potentially take minus... whatchamacallit. -6 stamina. But we've got 8 stamina. We saved the, whatchamacallit, the Sewing Kit. So we're probably good. Knowledge check, dexterity, charisma, strength. It's the whole 9 goddamn yards, and then your seconds. Do we have Heart of Darkness? I don't think we do. So, hilariously enough, the second mystery, which is probably the one that I could get wrong, because I'm trying to remember... Oh no, we did painting. We did painting, obviously. For some reason, I was thinking, like, we did footage or Household Hell second, but no, we obviously did painting, because we got the chainsaw as quickly as possible. So, we're taking... -3, -3, -3, -6, -3. We have Innsmouth look, but our reason is capped, so it's probably fine. So... yeah, we can probably just, Never got Broken Jaw taken care of, by the way. We have Expel Evil. That's pretty good, honestly. Honestly, going to get the Broken Jaw cured... We have Painkillers, Expel Evil. That's a way better idea than whatever the hell I did. It's pretty funny, actually. Innsmouth Look can't do Stamina Tea, right? It's only Sanity? If it does Stamina, we're screwed, but... or at least we have a high chance of being screwed. It was Peculiar Painting. I guess it doesn't even matter, because we would have been fine. We had a wiggle room to rest, too, in case we needed to get more stamina. Ancestral Strength, too, which we just never activated. Yeah, all in all... Oh, we were 1 second too fast. All in all, a really good Hayano run. Honestly, really impressed with that. The only thing left to do is, because I wanted longer episodes, only thing left to do is a little bit of Pokidoku. And listen, I could talk about World of Horror and its design for probably too long, but now it's time to talk about Skarmory, because it's a flying steel type. Skarmory, correct. Galar, flying type. Is that the Corviknight? Corvisquire? Correct. I don't know why I knew that, but I did. Monotype flying, this sucks. I'll come back to that in a moment. Grass Steel, that's the Ferrothorn, right? Pharaoh Seed? Pharaoh Thorn. Grass Steel. Steel G-Max. There's gotta be like a Steelix, right? Like a Steelix G-Max? How about a Celesteela? No. We can fish for that later. How about a Pharaoh Thorn G-Max? No. We can probably figure that out. Galar Grass. That's gonna be a little bit harder. Monotype Grass. That is not Bulbasaur, but it is Chikorita, right? Monotype Flying? This sucks. Because I'm pretty sure, like, Pidgey and Spearow are, like, flying normal types. And I'm pretty sure Delibird is, like, flying ice type. Togekiss is fairy flying, I would assume? Monotype G-Max form. That'd probably be Pikachu G-Max, right? I can't imagine it does another type. Galar G-Max. Is there a Corviknight G-Max? There is a Corviknight G-Max. Oh, wait, hold on. We could maybe figure out... Hold on. Because Galar is probably the region where G-Max came from, right? So, is it the Rylabloom G-Max? Let's try Galar Rylabloom. Hell yeah! All right, Corviknight G-Max, and then G-Max forms Steel. Honestly, probably Corviknight. Now that I think about it, because it's called Night, you know. Oops, can't reuse answers. Gimmighoul. Is there an Aggron? There's an Aggron Mega, but not an Aggron G-Max. Yeah, I probably could have done Rylabloom G-Max and then Corviknight G-Max, so... Oops. Okay. So let's go through the steel types. Mawile. Mawile Mega, not Mawile G-Max. There wasn't a Alolan that was steel, wasn't there? Registeel. Aegislash. Aegislash is not G-Max? Wasn't there one of the Charizards that was steel? No. A Sizzla... Oh, what about a Scizor? What about a Scizor? A Scizor Mega. But there... What about a Gliscor? A Centiskorch G-Max. That's probably Firebug, though. I wish we could just search G-Max. But alas. Is there a Magnemite or a Magneton G-Max form? Let's try that. Let's see. Let's just type Magnemite. No, Magneton, Magnezone. A Magerna. I think that's Steel. But that does not have a G-Max form either. Isn't this the legendaries of Sword and Shield? Zamazata? Zentha? Do they not have a G-Max form? What about Metagross? They have a Mega form. What about Heracross? No. I did not spell Heracross properly, by the way. It was Pheromosa Steel? I vaguely remember that. Aerodactyl Mega? I was typing two different Pokemon names at the same time. Let's try a Rhyperior. Yeah, not, I think I might have screwed myself. I think it might just be Corviknight. More Pecco Hangry. So true, bestie. Like, not having a list of G-Max Pokemon kind of sucks. Monotype Flying. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Because I have no idea what the hell is Monotype Flying. It's not Cast Form. Cast Form is just normal. Bird. Verizon? No. Drillbur. A Tatsugiri. Beak. Orbeetle G-Max. You think Orbeetle is a steel bug? I mean, it's the best that I've got to go off of. I can't think of anything else. It is not a steel type. Now, mono flying type, Combi? True, true, true. It has B in the name. The B stands for bird. Fly. Squawkabilly. A Rookity. Oh, isn't that just a... Wait. A Dorlodon? What the hell is a Dorlodon? A Melmeta and a Copperjaw. If I saw Copperjaw G-Max, I probably could have put two and two together. That's fair. Rookity. Oh, Tornadus! True! Tornadus! Zapdos Galar! Articuno Galar. Well, oh, I wonder what's a flying type in Galar. Oh, Zapdos Galar? Crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.